Drew, if I wanted you dead, you'd be dead.
Watch yourself. And you torture the people who loved you in the process.
Hello. Welcome to Port Misery, a GH podcast where we try to figure out why everybody is so miserable in Port Charles this week. Hey y'all, I'm here. I'm so late. I know this. You're probably listening to this like Monday or Tuesday because it is definitely Monday when I'm recording this of next week. I am so late. I just had a lot of stuff happen. A lot of stuff happened. Life happened. People came to town. I had to be with people. I had to do stuff. Plain old laziness. A lot of that was. But I'm here. I did it. Well, at least I've started it. Y'all know how the format works. And so we're at Monday. I have no idea what I'm going to call this. I'll let you know by the end of the episode. You'll see it in the beginning. You already know what the title is because you read it. But I don't know it as I'm recording it because like stuff happened this week. It was kind of a slow week, to be honest. It was like where I thought the story was going isn't really where it's going. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing. There's potentiality for this to become monotonous, and I'm going to get into that. But we got to start on Monday. So it's Monday, and obviously we got to start at Spy Hospital. And so Spy Hospital is kind of popping off. I'm not enjoying any of it, and I'm not bored to tears with it as well, just because the investigation has it's just a lot of talking in Delusional Hospital. We'll talk about it. The Spy Hospital. So Britt, Joss, and Dollar Tree Dex are all in the most Looney Tunes ass situation you've ever seen in your life. Like, it's actually crazy. But Pikeman is in Port Charles, like, freaking out because the agents could be dead and the French host not talking, and so he decides to call Valentine of all people to get some tea. Why are we calling Valentine? What's happening? Like, Valentine knows the French hoe, but apparently he does. And he's like, tell me what you know about the French hoe. And he says something about like, well, she's been working for Faison since 2015. So for 10 years, she's been a double agent. And he knew. So has he been working for the DBX for 10 years? I don't know. But he's like, I got tea and you need me, so I want to get transferred to the States so he could be, I don't know, closer to Charlotte. Pikeman is like, no. Like, bruh, what you talking about? I'm a regional manager at the WSB Port Charles branch. I can't do all that. You know that. And so he's like, okay, I want to see Charlotte. And Pikeman's like, bet, I'll get her ass on a FaceTime call right now. He's like, no, I want to physically see her. And obviously Lulu's probably gonna be like, nah, no, I don't want my daughter to see this terrorist. So that's gonna be an issue. But let's go over to the Evil Sandals Resort, because I feel like it's not long for this world that we not gonna see this Evil Sandals Resort. Enjoy the umbrellas and the drinks while you can, because I feel like it is not long for this world. So nondescript European manager has decided to truly embrace his James Bond villain era, and he just starts telling Joss and Dollar Tree Dex that he's going to use them as test subjects for radiation poisoning. This is the obligatory Port Misery apology to Emma Scorpio Drake for saying that she was a dummy, because I could not see like how cold fusion led to animal testing, but they did say that I guess with the cold fusion there's some radiation leakage, so he been testing on beagles. That's an expensive fucking dog to be testing on, to be honest. Like, but okay. Maybe it's cheaper to get a beagle than a chimp, and then you don't want a chimp on a set because it might rip your face off. I don't know. But he's been testing on these dogs to see if they get radiation poisoning, and now they want to test on Joss and Dollar Tree Dex. But a random guard comes in and tells him that Jason ain't dead. They don't know he's Jason. They think he's John Moore, but they're like, he ain't dead. Like the guy we sent is dead, but he ain't there. And so nondescript European manager bounces. The random guard who told him that also bounces. And so the guard that's left, Josh and Dollar Tree Dex start to get into his head. They're just like, this seems like everything's gone wrong. Maybe our backup's here. Like, you ready to die? You gonna die for the cause? And he seems like he's really about to help them when the random guard that left comes back. And he's like, shut up, bitch. Shut up, bitch. Stop talking to them. And so they're just on lockdown. Britt is in her lab. Jason busts into the lab. Remember how last week we were like, who is he looking at? Because he looks so surprised. Why is it just Britt? Why you look surprised to see Britt in the lab? Like, you knew shenanigans were afoot, but he sees her. He's like, come on, girl, we gonna go. She's like, I cannot because I have this Acme brand explosive around my ankle. Yes, nondescript European manager literally put a explosive ankle monitor on Britt so she can't just jump out the club. Hilarious. Jason is like, don't even trip, I'm gonna take it off. Britt's like, have you done this before? He's like, yeah, a couple times. Okay, sure. Jason knows how to defuse bombs. That's fine. She was like, let's call Spinelli. That man's a computer hacker, not a bomb tech. Like, would Spinelli be better? Whatever. But Jason's like, don't even trip, I got this. Britt just casually lets it drop that Jocelyn is a spy. She's just like, ooh, yeah, maybe I was like pissing him off when I, broke into where Joss is being held. Jason's like, what? Back up. What are you talking about? And she just like, yeah, Joss is a spy. When did that happen? And Jason's like, okay, girl, I gotta go. And just immediately ditches her to go find Jocelyn. And so he busts in the room, start fighting. He shoots the one dude who was down to clown with Joss and Dex. I felt kind of bad for that guy because he got taken out quick. I was like, oh, damn, he was kind of the homie. It's the other dude. But other dude hide behind the door. He comes out, starts giving Jason the hands. Like, Jason looks like he don't have the upper hand with this man. Dollar Tree Dex and Josh are like, ooh, we got to break free. Action. And then we cut back to Britt. Nondescript European manager comes in and he's like, cool, girl, I'm going to blow you up. I'm going to blow you up like Looney Tunes. And that's pretty much Spy Hospital. That's it. That's what happened. That's what happened on Spy Hospital. It wasn't, I guess it was action packed. And so if you were like, ooh, I love the action, a Spy Hospital that you were, getting fed, I was just like, okay. Why she say that so casually? She was so casual about Joss being a spy. She was just like, oh yeah, I drank too many pina coladas and that annoyed him. And then I tried to push up on Joss's fake husband. I broke into the lab where she was being kept. Like Jason should know this tea. Maybe she thought he knew. Like, it was just a well-known fact that Joss is a W. You've only been gone for 2 years, girl. Like, to be honest, be so fucking serious. But that's Spy Hospital. Let's get away from it. Let's move away. I'm sure Jason will get the upper hand. I'm sure Joss and Dollar Tree Dex will get free, and Britt's gonna get that Acme brand ankle monitor off her fucking ankle, and everything's gonna be fine. I'm gonna call that right now. So let's go over to Delusional Hospital. Remember, everything is Delusional Hospital. That's in Port Charles. That's not dealing with Spy Hospital, even if it's in a different iteration, because we got to go to Christina's hospital, trapped in Delusional Hospital. See, Christina's hospital wants to be in Delusional Hospital because Scout needs them, but Rick is in the basement. And so Ava comes over like, yeah, I don't care about all this shit happening with Drew. We got to deal with these emails because apparently Rick is more popular than we thought. And he got like 96 missed calls and 127 text messages, and it's bad. The emails they don't even know about. And so I don't know why they thought this man could just disappear. Like, everybody hates him just like we do. No, he's a lawyer. What are you talking about? He got to practice. He got clients. He obviously needs to stalk Elizabeth 3 times a day, so she was going to notice. Like, what are y'all talking about? But, they decide to drug Rick some more, get his fingerprint, unlock his phone, change his password, and just start sending emails to people. And so they're writing these like sickly sweet emails to Molly and Liz and stuff. Alexis comes home. She kind of checks. She's like, good on the Molly email. That's fine. I don't even want to hear about the Liz email because what really matters is Willow. Because Willow is crazy and she's not going to have this custody trial pushback. So what we about to do? Ava's like, don't even trip. I got that. I got that under control. Don't even worry about that. And so that's happening over at Christina's hospital. Now let's deal with the part of Christina's hospital that's trapped in delusional hospital. So Alexis, before she came home, was at GH trying to find Scout with Willow because Scout had run away from camp after she found out what happened to Drew. And so they're looking for her. Molly and Christina are also looking for her. Molly is like actively avoiding Cody's calls, which is a mistake because Scout's with Cody. Duh. I called that last week, but she with him. Scout had apparently tried to run out of delusional hospital to another hospital, not realizing that both Mob Hospital and Christina's hospital is trapped in delusional hospital. There's nowhere to run, girl. Nowhere to hide. And so Scout had asked Charlotte to take her to the Quartermain stables because apparently Cody is a homie and he would call Danny and then they run away together. They're very cute brother and sister. Let this little girl be with her brother. I don't understand. Well, both of them. But like definitely Danny because she misses his ass so much. But Charlotte and Lulu end up going up to Alexis and telling her that Scout is at the Quartermain stables. Molly calls pretty much immediately because she shows up at the stables and sees her. Alexis is like, okay, I'm gonna go down there. I don't care about no damn restraining order. Willow's like that. Hello, editing Tara here. I was editing this and I realized I forgot to bring something up. Look at Willow's face here. Why does she look thrilled that this little girl is missing? Like she looks thrilled that this little girl that we don't know where she is and that Alexis is sad about it. Like Willow, you are a fucking psychopath. Like she is nuts. She's nuts. I just needed that to be known. I needed that thought to be out because I straight forgot to say it. She's fucking crazy. Keep her kids from her. Like, don't let her see anyone else's kids. Take her job at this point. Oh my God, Willow. Dark Willow. Crazy. But let's get back to what I was saying. So Molly and Cody are with Scout and Scout is like, I don't understand why I can't come here, to be honest. Like, what's going on? And so Molly and Cody kind of explained to her about the restraining order. And she's like, nah, that don't make any sense because why wouldn't I be able to see you or Danny or grandma or any, like none of y'all gonna hurt me. I'm confused. I'm like, Scout is like, I am confusion. But they try to make her understand without demonizing Drew the best they can. But like, they really do kind of have to be like, listen, your dad's being dumb. Your dad's being dumb and we're going to hope that he stops. Alexis shows up with Willow and Scout is pretty much like, I don't want to go with her. Like, I don't want to go with her. I want to be with you. And Alexis has to be like, listen, I want you to be with me too, but Willow got you and you're going to have such a fun time and everything's going to be great. See, Willow, this is how you act for your children. You don't just show up to the house late at night in a wedding dress with raccoon eyes screaming. You try to make things best for them the best you can, even though you are fucking furious and you want that child with you. Willow doesn't absorb any of this. Not at all. She doesn't even seem to care that Scout don't want to be with her. She's like, no, we're going to have a good time. It's fine. You can just tell that Willow is operating under the principle that if I can't be with my children, then I don't want anyone to have any children that they want to have either. We're all going to have the same fucking energy around the same time. I hate this character. But, Scout goes with Willow. Alexis goes to deal with Rick in the fucking basement. And now it's just Molly with Cody. Now Molly thanks Cody for helping with Scout. And Cody's like, so you gonna like answer my calls when I call you? And Molly's like, no, because you still did what you did. And I get that you did that for me, but that somehow makes it worse because now I know that you think it's okay to do sex work. Like you think that's a positive. Like that you gonna do some sex work and it's gonna help me out and that makes it okay. And I actually can't be with someone like that. You know what? That's real. That's real. Like, why should you have to deal with somebody whose moral compass is so to the right or left of yours that they're doing stuff that doesn't even make sense to you on an ethical or moral level. And they're like, but I did it for you, so it's fine. You know, she already got to deal with that in her immediate family. She got to deal with that with Christina, Alexis, Sonny, her dad, like her cousins. She got to deal with that shit all the time. You know, the only person who has the same moral compass as her and her family is probably Dante, to be honest. And so, why should she deal with that shit in her romantic life? Now, I understand that Cody and Molly are probably where we're going. I'm just saying I understood why she was like, I don't want to talk to you, actually. Like, if you need help, I'll be your lawyer, but I'm not going to be your girlfriend. She's probably going to end up being his girlfriend. I'm just saying I got where she was coming from. And so the other thing that happened in this iteration was that Lulu talked to Charlotte because, you know, Lulu was like, look, we're so sorry. Alexis was not trying to hear it because, you know what? This is every time some bad shit happened with her family, Lulu and her progeny are not far behind. It's Laura, Lulu, and someone in her family is missing or dying or, you know, I can see why Alexis tired of her ass. Like, girl, it's always you, right? Anytime something goes down, there you are. Is it really Lulu's fault? Probably not. I'm just saying the correlation will irritate me as well. And so Lulu tells, you know, Alexis, Charlotte, sorry. Alexis is like, bye, girl. Charlotte is quick to be like, girl, don't apologize for me. I don't need that because I regret nothing. I did what I did and I'm proud of that. Lulu is like, great, let's talk about that because I feel you. I would have done the same thing when I was your age and it would have been a mistake then because, and here's the thing, I had a conversation with Tracy from Sunday Shift. Now for me, for Tara Kendall, who does this podcast, I was able to sort of put in the history of the show that I needed it to be there. And Tracy mentioned that she was like, but they didn't say that. To be honest, they were bringing up weird lore dumps about like Charlotte getting shot by Anna and putting snakes in people's purses. Who cares about that? When you could have been like, girl, look at me. I know what it's like to have one parent that's incapacitated and the other parent that's a fucking mess. That is literally my childhood. I know what it's like to have to grow up too fast and feel like you gotta make decisions by yourself and then you get put in a situation, you gotta learn to trust adults again. I get that. Because that is the story that Lulu had when she went to live with the Quartermains. Like, Laura was in a catatonic state, Luke was off doing cons, and she had to learn how to trust Tracy. And so there were ways to connect this story that didn't involve Anna or Ava. We get it. Charlotte's a character on the show. She's done things. And sometimes it's better to connect characters to their parents than to be like, remember that one time when you were 8 and you put a snake in Ava's purse? You didn't think about that. Why are you bringing up shit from when she was 8? To be honest, she's 17. Why, girl? And then the whole like, this is the first time we've ever heard them have a conversation about what Charlotte did to get got by Anna. And it's weird that it's coming up with like her just driving a girl to the Quartermain mansion, you know? And with that being said, I did take it like, okay, you do need to be punished because if you, it's kind of like what Danny did. Like, I get that y'all are in, your hearts are in the right place. You think Drew ain't shit. We think Drew ain't shit. And y'all know that he put a restraining order against not just Danny, but Rocco. And what happens when he gets a restraining order out on you because of what you did? You can't help this child if you can't be within 500 feet of her. And so you need to be smart about this, to be honest. And so I felt her on that. Like, I felt the conversation and the dialogue just could have been way better. It could have been way better. And then she just punishes her. She's like, you're going to lose your car and you're grounded for a month, which I was fine with. I was fine with those two things. I don't necessarily think she needed to be grounded for a month, but fine. Put some discipline down. Tuesday's episode, she goes crazy. She goes crazy, but we'll get there when we get there. Let's finish up and go to Law and Order Hospital. It's just a lot of talking. It's a lot of Anna, Dante, and Chase talking about the case and the conflicts in the case and the suspects in the case. And it's a lot of talking. It's just a lot of talking and not a lot of like actual investigation work. They're just like busy trying to make other people look guilty so the people that they like look less guilty. It's real crazy. Like, I love when Michael is brought up, when Chase is like, well, Michael could have done it, and Dante looks at Chase like, bruh, for real? Really? Okay. Chase also brings up Sonny. No, Anna brought up Sonny, and Chase was like, well, the Measure C stuff. And then Dante was like, no, this does not seem like the type of shit my daddy would do. And Anna was like, yeah, you're right. You're right. This is too personal. I don't think it was Sonny either. Like, yeah, shot down. Personal. Like if Willow did it, Chase. But they talk about Alexis. They talk about Nina. Obviously Michael, Willow. Curtis gets brought up. Tracy gets brought up. I wonder when Carly gets brought up. Because, like, they were saying how Tracy essentially, like, she probably didn't do it, but she would cover for the person who did, meaning Michael, essentially, because that's the only person she would cover for. She would not cover for Willow. She would not cover for Nina, but she would 100% cover for Michael. And so that's pretty much where we're at on Monday. Like I said, I wish there was more discussion about the actual case and talking to people, but it's really just Anna, Chase, and Dante in her office being like, what do we know? Here's the crime board. Okay, sure. So let me go watch Tuesday really quick, and then I'll be right back. Okay, see you soon. Okay, and we're back. Tuesday. This episode is taking so long to get out. It's gonna get out. Like, if you're listening to it right now, it made it out. But I apologize it took this long. The issues, the shenanigans that I have had to deal with are actually wild. But not as wild as Spy Hospital. So a lot of stuff's happening. Spy Hospital has got to anchor itself in Port Charles somehow. It's been at the evil Sandals Resort in the Balkans for so long. But that place went up in flames in this episode. So we got to get back to Port Charles. And so Charlotte Cassadine is officially in Spy Hospital. She is our anchor for Spy Hospital because now we care about Valentine. Remember Valentine showed up in yesterday's episode with the evil mustache? So, Charlotte is with Lulu. And Lulu is just she's just still punishing Charlotte. Like, she just piling on punishments. Like, at this point, like, girl, she didn't take her to the club, she took her to her family. Like, yeah, she should have called someone, but girl, like, she's like, you gotta mulch the garden, you gotta scrub the floorboards, you gotta do all this. Like, girl, this is too much. This is too much. And like, this is the punishment she gave Rocco, but he snuck out to a college party and almost died. Like, these things are not equal, is all I'm saying. Like, taking the car away, like, you were wilding out with the car, so I'm gonna take the car. But, like, all of a sudden, you gotta, like, follow this dog around every time it shits. Like, okay, I mean, I guess you gotta scrub floorboards. Like, you gotta do all this. Like, is it okay? Okay, this is why she want to live in France, to be honest. Like, I'd want to live in France too. Like, she was living her little Eloise in the Plaza life, and now she's scrubbing floorboards. Okay. Preface, this is the episode, because I said it in Monday's segment, this is the episode where she brings up her putting the snake in Ava's purse. Probably bringing up shit from when the child was like 10 years old. That is definitely old shit when it comes to a 17-year-old. Like, as an adult, 7 years ago is not that long, right? Like, girl, that was 7 years ago. I'm still mad about it because, like, your frontal cortex is fully formed, so you knew better 7 years ago, and so I'm still mad about it. But, like, being mad at your child when they were 10, putting snakes in Ava Jerome's purse when Ava Jerome kind of sucks. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. Carly would have put a snake in her purse too. Like, you still talk to her. And so Charlotte is just there to get like a latte and then go to her little Cinderella era punishment for the next month and a half, I guess, when Lou tells her that she's got to see Pikeman. Now, Charlotte don't fuck with Pikeman because Pikeman betrayed Valentine, because Pikeman and Valentine were about that terrorist life. I did not forget. I did not forget that Valentine broke Pikeman out of jail for a sec to like catch him up on the shenanigans and tell him that he was fucking with Sonny's medication. And Pikeman was like, I love that. I love that shit. It helps us do more terrorism. I remember Australian Pikeman. I did not forget him. And so I'm with you, Charlotte. I see his ass too. I see his ass too. And that's like essentially when Pikeman shows up, he sees Rocco. He's like, hey, how you doing? Rocco's like, oh, I'm good. He goes in to talk to Lulu. Charlotte is immediately like, I see you. I see you and I know you ain't shit. And I want you to know that. I want you to know that I know that you ain't shit. I want you to know that I want you to know. All right, take that shit back to your superiors. And she leaves. Lulu's like, I'm so sorry. And like, Pikeman's like, well, she's a teenager. It's fine. And Lulu is literally mid sentence thanking him for saving her daughter from Valentine. When Pikeman is like, so I need Charlotte to go see her terrorist dad at the Supermax prison in a different country. Obviously, Lulu's like, no. Like, no, what are you talking about? Like, looking stupid? Like, no. How about no? And he immediately is like, well, your daughter is a target because her daddy's a terrorist. And what's going to happen when she gets targeted and who you going to call? Lulu's like, so what? If I don't do what you say, you going to let my daughter die? Like, what the fuck? I'll call Carly right now. He's like, I didn't say all that. Obviously, I'm going to protect her ass. I'm just saying you need to get with the program. Now, I want to say I hear all the sides, all right? Because I talk to a lot of different people who watch the show who have a lot of different opinions, right? I'm not in an echo chamber where everyone is like, here, I agree with your opinion, Tara, and you are right. And so I want y'all to know that. And so I have heard opinions that range from Lulu was 100% right. Why would she want her daughter to go see a fucking her terrorist father that she didn't even choose for her? Like, it's not even like a situation where Lulu chose this man to be her father. It's just something she's dealing with, right? Why would she want her to have to leave the country, go to this Supermax prison that's full of terrorists and supervillains to see her dad for some WSB shenanigans? Why would she do that? Two, Charlotte wants to go. Charlotte wants to go. Valentine is her preferred parent. She says it in this episode. Like, she literally sits outside trashing Pikeman to Rocco and talking about how she wishes that she was still living that terrorist fugitive life in France. And so I hear all the sides. I feel like I land somewhere in the middle. I land where, like, if we're establishing that Charlotte Cassadine is now 17 years old, she is old enough for you to have a real conversation with her and, like, voice your concerns. Pull rank if you got to, but like also let her be a part of that decision and hope she makes the decision that you want her to make. And if she doesn't, then support her through that, because since she's 17, if she did choose to go, you could definitely be like, well, I'm gonna go too. We going together. We both going to the Supermax prison in a different country full of evil terrorists and supervillains. Like, we're going together, girl. You could do that. But if you keep it from her and she finds out, she might go rogue on you and she gonna be mad at you. She gonna be like, I had to do that because you don't even tell me the truth. Like, I hear about it in the streets and now I gotta make my own decisions because I already know how you feel about it because you didn't even tell me about it. And so I feel like I land somewhere in the middle on this where, I get where Lulu's coming from and why, like I said, she don't owe Valentine a goddamn thing. That's the thing. This is not a situation where she had a one night stand with this man or she was married to him or they loved each other. This was like they were both violated. And I want to make that very clear that Valentine didn't do nothing to her either. He was also violated. And they're sort of stuck with each other because Helena Cassadine did some weird fucking weirdo shit. And neither of them are at fault. And Valentine got the embryo. He implanted it in someone. He made the child. So maybe if you can make that argument, but then also Lulu loves this child. And so I don't think she's mad about that. It's just the circumstances are the circumstances. And so Lulu feeling like she don't owe Valentine anything, I actually get that. I get that. You know, she owes Dante something. You know, they consciously chose together to make Rocco. And so she owes that man something regardless of how she feel about him. Right? Like Sonny owes something to all his baby mamas. Because like y'all made that child together. Like even Ava. Like I me saying that I understand why Mob Hospital don't fuck with Ava is not the same as me saying that Ava shouldn't see her baby. I think she should see her baby. And I think they've made good arguments about how that kind of energy of keeping one parent from the child on some petty shit, that bit them in the ass with Michael. Because once he was an adult, AJ was able to come in, tell his version of the story, and kind of co-opt that without Michael actually having experiences with him to be able to refute what he was saying. And so, like, Avery needs to know what time it is with her mama. Like, she needs to know about the shenanigans. So when she's older, if she want to keep Ava in her life, and same with Sunny, if she needs to know about the Mob Hospital shenanigans, right? And so when she's older, if she want to keep these people in her life, she can make a conscious decision about that. As opposed to like you just hiding Ava away. And so this is, you know, these people owe something to their baby mama or their baby daddy. And so it's complicated. It's more complex, but less complicated with Lulu and Valentine. They don't owe each other nothing. Valentine does not owe Lulu a goddamn thing. Lulu don't owe him a goddamn thing. What they owe is their daughter something. That's who they owe something to, right? And their daughter wants both of them in her life. And so that has always been the thing that Valentine and Lulu had to reconcile with. And Valentine, we saw him reconciling with that on the first half because he had more access to Charlotte. She wanted to be with him. She was little, she didn't understand. And now she's older. She does understand how much her mother loves her and how fucked up the situation is with how she was brought into this world. But she still loves her dad. And so now the shoe is on Lulu's foot to support her daughter and her daughter's choices and just accept that her daughter is never going to see Valentine the way she sees Valentine. It's just not going to happen. And I feel like that is Lulu's path, Lulu's journey on this show is like recognizing that the way she sees the world is not the way the people she loves sees the world and learning to somehow compromise between her vision and theirs. Because we've seen that with other people. We see that with her and Rocco. We see that with her and Dante. We see that with her and Carly. That like, she's like, no, this is how I feel and it is the correct way to feel. And they're like, no, it's not. I'm not saying what I'm doing is correct, but it's definitely what you're doing is not correct. Like, we gonna have to come somewhere in the middle. And so I say all that to say is that I think making Spy Hospital, centering Charlotte in Spy Hospital over Jocelyn Jax. I'm so sorry, Jocelyn Jax. You're Carly's daughter, so you know I love you, girl. But centering Charlotte in Spy Hospital is better than centering Jocelyn. That's just how I feel. If you feel differently, you are allowed to feel differently. Also, shout out, because like me disliking Lulu as a character, because I have characters that I dislike. There's a difference between me disliking a character and me wanting a character to get gone. Like, we gotta get them like off the fucking show. Getting got is not getting gone. And just like get the terminologies that I use on the record. And so like I've been saying, I want Drew got. I didn't say I wanted him gone. Some of y'all might want him gone, but I wanted him got. But I don't want Lulu to leave the show just because I'm annoyed with her. And I think Alexa Hammond's doing a killer job. Like, she's doing a killer job. She does a really good job of like balancing that maybe Lulu might be out of pocket, you know? Like, she's like a really good actress is what I'm saying, because she plays it where when I'm watching it, I believe that Lulu believes the things that are coming out of her mouth, which is job one. right? But also, she's good at making Lulu sound absurd as fuck. Just like you believe it, but like Alexa Havens, the actress, also knows that Lulu may or may not be out of pocket right now. She might be wildin'. She's crashed out. And I think that's great. I also really love, I think her name is Bluesy Burke. I really like her as new Charlotte. Charlotte Cassadine is a really hard role to play. Scarlett Fernandez, who played her originally, who originated the role, she's a really good actress. She's very big shoes to fill. And I really like Bluesy. I thought she did a great job. Like, just from straight out the gate. I love the attitude. And like I love that it gives both Cassadine and Spencer. Cause like even with the like, I did that shit and I'm not sorry about it. That's Spencer qualities right there. Like, you think I care about breaking the law? You think I care that I broke the law? The law's wrong. Drew's wrong. Loved it. Loved it. So shout out to that. If we're moving into the, we care about Charlotte, Valentine's got an evil mustache, Spy Hospital days, I can fuck with that. That's all I'm saying. So now let's go back to the part of Spy Hospital that I hate. So nondescript European manager is still trying to kill Britt with Acme brand explosive ankle bracelet. And Jason is still fighting a random guard in the hall. Britt is with nondescript European manager, like, he wouldn't kill me. He wouldn't do that, but she's not saying who he is. So is he Nathan? Is that what's happening? Who is he? And she's very sure that he wouldn't do it and that this is nondescript European manager just being ain't shit. Like, just being an ain't shit person. And so, nondescript European manager is just like, girl, I've been telling you for weeks that I have had enough of your shit. And now I'm done with you. And I'm going to say you accidentally blew up the lab because you could never fix the air conditioner or the servers. And they blew up. And you blew up with it. And we're going to move on, girl. Goodbye. It puts like a hour-long timer on, which is stupid. Because, like, why you always got to put a timer? I understand, like, let's put remote timers on things. But also, like, if you got her locked in a lab and you are, trying to move shit out, get shit moved, why don't you just have it on something where, like, as soon as y'all, ready to leave, you just blow her ass up? Like, why you put on a timer? You putting yourself on a timer is what I'm saying. Like, if you put her on a timer, then you're putting yourself on a timer because now you only got an hour to get all that shit packed up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's all I'm saying logistically, but like narratively, I understand why we gotta put it on a timer, right? Like, you on a timer, girl, because that puts Jason on a timer to save Josh, to come back to save you. We gotta see, we on time, right? We got to get things done in time. And so Joss, let's go back to Jason. Jason fighting in the hall. Joss saves Jason after he saves her. It was like a saving of Inception where everybody was saving everyone and the saves were folding into one another. It was very weird. Just like everybody was saving everybody. Like, good teamwork. Good teamwork there. But Jason is obviously pissed because he's like, girl, what the fuck? What's this? What are you doing? What's this here? And she's like, well, and he's like, yeah, I gotta go save Britt. We'll talk about this shit later. Dollar Tree Dex is all like, she's Faison's daughter. Jason's like, bruh, I don't know who you are because you still on nickname status. I don't know you, right? I am from Port Charles, New York. I know more about Cesar Faison than you ever fucking will. Don't you ever talk to me about that, man. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. I'm going back for her ass. Like, I'll see you when I fucking see you. And he bounces. And so Jason goes back to Britt. Britt is like, so the Acme brand ankle monitor is now going to blow up in 20 minutes. He's like, bet, let me get it off. She's like, no, go save yourself. You have children. What about Jake and Danny? Jason is literally like, fuck them kids. If you blow up, then I'm nothing to these kids. What? See, this is so weird. It's like, I feel, and I have no proof, right? I don't have any proof of this because I'm not in the writing room, but I feel like in the writing room they were like, okay, We need to give Jason and Britt some angst. She can't just be like, I'm super happy to see this man. And so we're gonna have her still be pissed off about the Carly shit because she's gonna find out that he faked his death on some Carly shit. Girl, you faked your death. You faked your death on some random shit. On some like, I'm just tired of people knowing I'm alive shit. And so what are you talking about? Who cares why he faked his death? Y'all both fake your deaths. This shit y'all do. Like this is something y'all have in common. But she's like, I'm mad about that. And so he has to like, give her the trap phone, make her feel secure. Great, right? She got the trap phone, she feels secure. She gets to call him with the trap phone. He comes back for her. So now she knows that he will come back for her. He is down for her. That's so romantic. But then she drops so super fucking casually that Joss is a spy, and she locked up in a closet down the hall. And so he's like, well, obviously Carly and all her progeny come first, so I gotta go. Leaves her again, just proves her right by abandoning her with an Acme brand ankle monitor. It's gonna blow her up in an hour. Proves her right by leaving her for Carly's daughter. But then he comes back, he does that shit real quick. It was a real quick side mission. It was a quick side mission, girl. Like, you gotta trust the process. But he does that real quick. Comes back. She's like, so the Acme brand ankle monitor only got 20 minutes left. And so what we gonna do now? He's like, I'm gonna stay here with you until we get it off or it blows up. Now we gotta have her do the selfless thing, be like, no, leave me to die so you can be with your kids. Now at this point, we could do a lot of things. We could do a lot of things, in my opinion. We can have Jason be like, bitch, I do this shit all the time. I'm Jason Morgan. I got a, guaranteed get out of death card until I'm ready to leave the show. So don't even trip. I got this. Like, all purpose Swiss Army hero on General Hospital. Don't even worry. We could just have him be like, I can't concentrate on this while you busy trying to unalive yourself on some good person shit. Shut up, girl. But instead they had Jason be like, fuck them kids. What? That doesn't even address the thing that she's insecure about. She's not insecure about the kids. She cool with the kids. She's insecure about Carly. She's insecure about Carly, and nothing he has done since he has got to the Sandals resort has alleviated her concern about that. Because even when he gave her the trap phone and came back for her ass, he abandoned her as soon as he found out Carly's daughter was in trouble. And so you have not addressed the concerns that you have decided that she still harbors, the insecurities that she still harbors. You have not addressed any of those at all. You just had that man say, fuck them kids. After he said, fuck them kids for Carly in 2021. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Why you keep having this man say fuck his kids? What's going on? This is why Liz has to help Willow, because she doesn't know what Willow's going through, because all of her baby daddies are deadbeats. They are deadbeats. They are just like, I'll blow up with my random side girlfriend that I never even made legit, because it's before I had a chance for us to put a label on it. I had to fake marry Carly but really fall in love with her, but now we don't talk about that. It's the we don't talk about Bruno part of this fucking show, so the unholy trio can still exist. This is what I mean about Spy Hospital. This is what I mean about me and Spy Hospital. I think about shit too much to just rock with Spy Hospital like this. Cause I'm gonna break it down like this. And I'm gonna be like, explain it to me like I'm 5. Why is he saying fuck his kids? Danny just lost his mother. October 2024. And now Jason's at an evil sandals resort in the Balkans being like, if you jump, I jump, Rose. Are you what? What's going on? This man is too old to be in his Jack Dawson era with Britt Westbourne, where he taking his shoes off, about to jump off the Titanic with her ass. Got 2 kids at home. One just lost their mama. Listen, we gotta move past it. We got to move past it. I've been talking so much about Spy Hospital, and I'm about to breeze through Delusional Hospital. But he gets her out that thing. We knew he would. I don't even know how he got it. He just found like a magnet in her office. How does she not know this? She's the one doing cold fusion. What the fuck? But he figured that shit out. They run out, immediately get caught by nondescript European manager, but luckily Joss and Dollar Tree Dex came back. They run out the I don't even know how. I don't know the layout of this place, to be honest. They don't ever give us a layout. But they ran from the lab straight. Like when Britt gave her instructions, it seemed like you had to do like 6 lefts and turn around 3 times and jump on your left foot to get to this lab. But now it just leads right out into the pool area. And it's blowing up the whole fucking resort. Like I felt bad for Black waitress putting the glasses down because she really just got blown up. Because we only saw Joss and Dollar Tree Dex and Britt and Jason walk away from that explosion. But we it's but that's Spy Hospital. That is Spy Hospital. Let's go. We gotta move past it. I cannot keep. I will never finish this podcast if I'm still trying to dissect Spy Hospital and try and make it make sense in my own mind. But let's go to Delusional Hospital, which is featuring Law and Order Hospital, a Mob Hospital, and of course Black Hospital, because it sucked all of those hospitals into it. And so Anna Devane is like a victim of this week because like her having to like deal with all these people as the police commissioner because she is investigating an attempted murder of a congressman, right? She don't have a choice about that. She got to do that shit. She can't just let that shit rock. You can't just be shooting Congress people. What the fuck? Like, I don't care, but you can't shoot your problems away, Port Charles. Like, I can't allow it. And every suspect who knows they're guilty as hell, like at least seem guilty as hell, they're giving her nothing but attitude. And she's like, what the fuck? Like she asking the basic questions, like where you at? And they're like, why are you talking to me like this, Anna? Why would you ask me a question like that? I thought we were friends. What the fuck? Bruh. They literally will turn around and be like, why are you asking me questions about the thing that makes me look guilty as hell? Why would you do that? Because I'm investigating an attempted murder. That's why. What do you like? Pour one out for Anna. Everybody got to take a shot for Anna because Anna is going through it this week. Anna is officially too old for this shit. And so Alexis shows up and says she's not gonna answer questions until Diane shows up. She's not here, so you gotta wait. Diane finally shows up and is immediately like, so we're not answering any of your questions, thank you. Why are you asking us that? We didn't come to talk about that. Like, why are you bringing up literal old shit? Anna's literally bringing up shit from 2 days ago, but Drew wasn't shot 2 days ago. He was shot yesterday, and so they're here to talk about yesterday, and they're not here to talk about old shit 2 days ago. It's very funny. Anna is like, so Dante came to your house. Ava and Christina was there. What's up with that? Alexa's like, so I was holding an intervention for Ava and Christina because they're annoying. I don't know if you ever ran into or been in a room with Ava and Christina at the same time. It is the worst fucking thing you've ever experienced. I don't recommend it. And so to save the town, the aura of the town spirit, I locked them bitches in my living room and said, work it out. And I was decided to leave them alone, even though they have both tried to unalive each other several times at this point. I decided to leave them alone and take out the trash because the trash needed to be taken out. That's when Dante showed up. Thank God, right? Because I had to run back inside the house. But I came back. Dante tried to question me. Now, I'm a lawyer, so obviously, this is not my first rodeo. I'm not talking to his punk ass without a lawyer, and that's why we're here, okay? Diane at that point is like, I don't see why we need to talk anymore. Goodbye. And just shuts off Anna's recorder herself. Just like, we're done. Listen to the tape, bitch. And they leave. Anna lets them leave because she's like, I don't want to talk about this. But Alexis had brought up how she had saw Curtis before she had the intervention. And that makes Anna realize that she got to talk to Curtis because Curtis has famously been beefing with Drew for months and months and months, like stole his company. So, and now he going after Aunt Stella. Everybody, I love how the whole town is offended that Aunt Stella been gone after. Like, how dare him? Like, what the fuck? And so Curtis got moved to the top of the suspects list. So let's talk about Black Hospital a little bit. So, and like I said, all the hospitals are merging into each other. So it's hard to like be like, this specifically is Black Hospital. Cause like Curtis is going to see Michael, who's obviously a mob hospital. But they discuss how Michael is obviously a suspect and he needs his alibi. And the alibi is the random sex worker, but he don't know random sex worker's name. Curtis is like, that's random sex worker. Don't even trip. Like, she worked for this escort agency. Just call them, ask for random sex worker. It's gonna be fine. Then Curtis gets a call from Portia. Now, Portia was Drew's surgeon, and so she had come in to see Drew. Now, Drew woke up, did not stop at go, did not collect $200, just went straight back to evil. Straight back to evil. He did not have any type of moment of clarity. He did not thinking about his life and what led him to get 2 bullets in the back. He said, I love that. I love that someone shot me because now it allows me to do more evil. Like, you strike me down, you will make me powerful beyond measure, right? Okay. And so Liz came in, like, how you doing? Portia came in behind him, or behind her. Drew's like, I need a new doctor. Nope. I need a new doctor. Portia's like, I bet you do. I bet you do. But I'm the one who's here. So what's good? Liz looks so confused. Liz is so deep in delusional hospital and she don't have no tea. She has absolutely no tea. She knows nothing that's happening. She's just here. She's just here. She's like a witness to it, right? Because she don't know nothing. She's confused by all the innuendos going around, being thrown around. Like, she don't know why Portia beefing with this man like this. Okay, like, is she just that down for Curtis? Like, okay. But, they get out the room. Portia immediately calls Curtis, is like, hey, Drew is snitching, so you might want to get down here. Curtis is like, so Drew is snitching, I gotta go. Michael is like, we still besties. Curtis is like, besties for life. Besties for life. He leaves, goes to the hospital. Dante had gone to the hospital to talk to Drew. Now, Drew, like I said, chose evil. And so as soon as Dante gets there, he got nothing but attitude. He's just like, I got shot in the back. How you think I'm doing? Why you asking me how I'm doing? I'm not doing great. I'm shot in the back. You been shot. You know what it's like. You wouldn't ask people how they doing. Dante's like, okay, who you think shot you? What's going on? Immediately he's like, Michael, your brother. Call his ass. Your brother did it. So Dante's like, bet. We were going through your safe and like, did you leave that shit open? Because that shit was open when we got there. And Drew's like, yeah. And then he remembers the Portia blackmail and he was like, I do not give you permission to go through my safe. Dante's like, oh, okay, that's sus. But I let Anna know that you being sus as fuck about us investigating your attempted murder and leaves. And so Curtis shows up as Dante's leaving. Liz just lets Curtis go in the room. Liz is like, well, he doesn't say you can't go in. Liz, you know that Curtis and Drew are beefing like no one else. But you just letting that man. Okay. Okay. Like I said, they got Liz just being so out of the loop, just knowing nothing. Like, well, it's Curtis. He wouldn't do anything. Okay. And so Curtis goes in and he's like, hey, you old bitch. How you doing? I hope you're doing terrible. Drew is like, why you here? Why you here? Because you probably the one who shot me. But don't worry about it. I did you a favor. I'm blaming Michael. And Curtis looks disgusted. Like, ugh, this man. Okay. So you just woke up evil. You woke up more evil somehow. Great. And so then we go to Michael. Now, Michael goes and calls the escort service to ask for a random sex worker. She shows up. Now, she had tried to blackmail Portia, and it was very funny because, like, I was so worried about this. I was just like, how is Portia getting blackmailed again? Like, Portia cannot go 24 hours without getting blackmailed. But this time, Portia was like, nah, girl, what you about to do? What you gonna tell the cops? That I paid you to drug a congressman and what's the next? It's in the cell next to me, bitch. What are you talking about? Shut the fuck up. Get out my office. And so, right at the same time, the little escort service calls like, "Hey, girl, somebody requested you." And so she goes to the Port Charles Grill. It's Michael, and so she's kind of like, "Okay, like, do you want to get to know me, or are you just trying to fuck?" Michael's like, neither of those things. I need an alibi. That's when Dante shows up. Like, hey, what's good? We need to talk. And so that's that's the episode. That's Tuesday. Not that much happened, even though this is probably going to be the longest segment because I had to explain so much, especially about Spy Hospital. Sorry about that. I kind of just I had to like work that out for myself, and you got to be a witness to that. And so you're welcome, or my bad. But let me go watch Wednesday. Let me go work that out, and I'll be right back. And we're back. Wednesday, it was like talk hospital, a lot of talking, but still funny stuff happened. So let's get into it. Obviously, we got to start with Spy Hospital, but it's Charlotte's Spy Hospital, so it's slightly more interesting to me, to be honest. But we have Lulu calling Carly over to complain that Pikeman wants Charlotte to go see Valentine at the Supermax prison in a different country. And Carly's like, well, and then like the whole episode is them going back and forth. Pretty much with Carly saying what I was saying in the last segment, that like, well, Charlotte finds out about this, she gonna be mad. So then what you gonna do? And Lulu being like, well, I just think she needs to move on. Okay, well, the girl doesn't want to move on. And so maybe you need to like give her some autonomy in this. And Lulu pretty much being like, no, no. I already got to share Rocco with crusty ass Liesel. I'm not sharing Charlotte with Valentine. And like I said, I get why she feels that way. It's a mistake. It's a mistake, and she might not make it because Pikeman, so he wouldn't have to ask Carly to come do what she's already doing, to be honest, like with unprompted doing. Pikeman decides to call Nina, which is a terrible fucking idea. Like, Carly's gonna be like, why didn't you just ask me? I'm family. But he asked Nina to go and ask Lulu to let Charlotte go to the Supermax prison in a different country. And she's like, nah. Now, when she first got there, she thought that he wanted her to like kidnap Charlotte. And she was like, I'm def not doing that. And then, you know, she was like, oh, you want me to just drop that tease to her so she could flip a bitch or something? And he's like, no, I just want you to talk to Lulu. Even Nina is like, why you want me? Lulu don't fuck with me. Like, Lulu and me beef from back in the day. Like, what are you talking about? And Pikeman's like, well, I don't want to ask Carly. And essentially just like threatens her. Like, well, I know that you're in trouble with the PCPD because Drew is shot. And you and your crusty daughter are going to need help. And so if you want help, you better do what I say. And so Nina ends up just agreeing to it. Like, even though she hasn't verbally agreed to it, she gonna do it. She will definitely be doing it. Like, and it's funny because like she talked about how like Charlotte's like the first chance I got to be a mother, and like she's very important to me. Nina really be collecting daughters like infinity stones. It's actually crazy. Like, You know, she got Nell, Willow, Sasha, Charlotte. Like, who else she gonna collect? She was trying to collect Donna that one time, but we stopped that. We said not the Carson baby. You can't have her. You can try and steal Avery if you want. Fight Ava for Avery, but you can't have Donna. But she be collecting them daughters like Infinity Stones. It's crazy. She like the Thanos of daughters. But she gonna throw that daughter right away, just like she did Sasha, for punk ass Willow, who's a fucking ingrate. Hate to see it. But that's pretty much Spy Hospital. That's all we had. Pikeman's the only spy in Spy Hospital. Everything else is like it's becoming Charlotte Cassadine Spy Hospital, and I love to see it. I'm gonna be honest with you there. But let's go to Delusional Hospital, now featuring Hospital, Black Hospital, Law and Order Hospital, and Mob Hospital. So let's go to Hospital. So Liz tells Lucas that she might have to snitch on Carly. Girl, why? Why? You didn't have this energy when Nicholas was keeping bitches in towers. You were 100% down to keep this bitch in a tower and deliver her baby and steal it from her and potentially be okay with Nicholas killing her. Because what do you think he was going to do with her after that? But now what am I supposed to do if the police ask? I can't possibly lie. I wish they had given Elizabeth the dialogue that she don't owe Carly a goddamn thing. And that's why she's not going to lie for her. Because that's what her fans are doing right now. Like, her fans are on social media right now. Like, Liz don't owe Carly a goddamn thing. And so I don't care if she's not lying for her. Why not just have Liz say that? Just say it to Lucas's face. Lucas knows it's true. Liz ain't got no reason to lie for Carly. And so acting like she just lying is beneath her. Like, her moral compass won't allow that. Girl, didn't you fuck your fiance's brother right before you supposed to marry your fiance? Didn't know who your baby daddy was? Once again, didn't you keep a bitch in the tower? Weren't you like essaying Drew when you thought he was Jason? Lying is not beneath you. Just say you don't want to lie for a bitch. I don't owe that bitch nothing. We're not friends. And so I'm not catching a case for Carly Spencer. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't think she need to lie for Carly either, but give her a real reason. Don't be like, well, I'm just pure Elizabeth. I couldn't possibly. Girl, you capping for Willow. You capping for Willow, which means you capping for Drew. Which means you team Drew. Like, if I redid the team Drew tier list, you'd be on it. Just for how hard you're going for Willow. So, like, okay, girl. Lucas does try to be like, my sister says that shit. She just says shit like that. But, like, she not out here murdering people. What you counting the Tony Jones shit? Is that what you counting? The Tony Jones shit that happened in the Clinton administration? Because, like, Liz is like, well, you know how Carly gets. How does Carly get, Liz? How does she get? What are you talking about? When's the last time you saw this bitch murder somebody? We saw her kidnap Silas's mom and put her in like 5-star accommodations with a private nurse. But I ain't never see her just cold-bloodedly murder somebody. That's Jason. That's your baby daddy. That's your baby daddy. What are we talking about? But whatever. Then Liz goes and tells Willow that Rick is on some digital detox and definitely not tied up in Alexis's basement. And of course, Willow freaks out and is like, well, that's why I got to get back together with Drew. Clearly, that's why I got to get back together with Drew. Because, like, Chase had gone to see Willow and ask her if she was going to get back together with Drew. And she was like, oh, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I know he cost me my kids, but he might be the only way for me to get them back. Girl, that doesn't even make any sense. That does not make any sense. Like, it's just like, I know that doing crack is the reason I lost my kids, but maybe if I do some more crack and just commit myself to being a crackhead, the judge will understand why I need crack and my kids, and she will give me my kids back. What are you talking about? What are you actually talking about? It doesn't make any sense, girl. The plan is not planning. That's all I'm saying. The plan is not planning. But now that she knows that Rick is just missing and she's poor, she's like, well, what choice do I have? Gotta get back with him. And so like the final scene of the episode is Willow standing over Drew looking like she wanna shoot his ass again. Cause it's starting to look like that's what happened. Especially with Pikeman being like, you and your daughter gonna need my help soon enough. And he said that like he already knew. He said that like he knew what time it was. That's all I'm gonna say. He might not know what time it is. It might just be a bluff to get her to do what he needs her to do. But he really did say that like I got drones all over the city and I specifically watched your daughter shoot this man in the back twice. So just know that you gonna need my help. That's all I'm saying. But that's hospital. I'll come back to it with Lucas, but we gotta go to Black Hospital before we do that. Cause like I said, everything's caving into each other. So to tell it in an efficient way, we can't go break down the hospitals. We're all in delusional. Everything is delusional hospital now. And so, Trina is with Kai at the coffee shop and they're talking about how Drew is awake and Kai is like, let me go see that man. So he still thinks that I like him and that I don't know that he ain't shit person. And so Trina's like, bet. Emma comes in and she's like, hey girl, how you doing? You look a little upset. You need to talk? You need a friend? Trina's like, no, I don't want to bug you. It's fine. Emma kind of just pushes and is like, girl, just talk to me. Trina opens up to her like she's Barbara fucking Walters in 1997. Like, girl, why are you telling her everything about Black Hospital? Telling her all the fucking secrets of Black Hospital. Couple things. You met this girl a few months ago. You don't know her like that. To be just divulging your mother's fucking crimes. And that is if she was a regular person. This is the commissioner's granddaughter who lives with her. Be so fucking serious right now, Trina. Be so fucking serious. I know that she's doing Honeypot Hospital over at Spy Hospital, the weakest story of Spy Hospital by far. I understand that, which requires her to lie to her grandmother pretty much all the time. I am aware. What I'm saying is Trina don't know that. She don't know her. Only thing she do know is that she is the commissioner's granddaughter. And she telling her about Portia's illegal activities and being blackmailed by Drew. Okay. Okay, Trina has replaced Kai as the weakest link of Black Hospital. Like she's underneath Stella admitting to doing casual insurance fraud 7 times at this point. Cause girl, what are you doing? What are you actually doing? And then they give her this crazed dialogue, right? Where she's like, and just against Portia. Like, I can't believe Portia did this. And she knows how seriously my dad takes truth. Your father is having an emotional affair with Jordan Ashford as we fucking speak. He's not even honest with himself. But yeah, he cares about the fucking truth. Also, you were raised by Portia. Not by Curtis. You met Curtis at 17 years old. That's when you met him. You learned he was your father at what, 19? You didn't fuck with him before that. And now you're all heartbroken because your dad, who engages in emotional affairs as a fucking pastime, because that's how he got with your mom, having an emotional affair with Portia when he was still married to Jordan. And now he's doing a reverse double bluff and having an emotional affair with Jordan while he's married to Portia. That's just some shit your dad does. And we're supposed to feel so fucking bad for him because Portia lied to him about shit that you're not even saying correctly, because she's saying that she lied about the blackmail. No, or not. She lied about the test, that she switched the test. No, she lied about the blackmail. She didn't lie about switching the test. She told Curtis that she switched that test. She lied about the blackmail, and who fucking cares? Just stand behind your mom and look hard. Fuck Curtis. What are we talking about? And so I was just like, ugh, this is a terrible look. Like, I know that they thought they were real cute. Like, ooh, look at us eating. Look at us setting up the Trina Emma friendship. I don't want it. I don't want it. If that's how you gonna act. Because like it's not even about me liking Joss more. This is about story like sense. Right? What makes sense for the story? It makes sense for Trina to open up to Joss, not only because they are childhood friends, but because Joss is attached to Mob fucking Hospital. Joss knows what time it is. Joss ain't talking to no cops. Joss knows exactly what to do. And so that's what I'm saying is that, like, I have to now just be like, well, Emma wouldn't do this because of Honeypot Hospital and completely ignore the fact that not only is she Anna Duvane's granddaughter, she lives with Anna Duvane. Okay, girl. Okay, girl. But that's Trina. That's Trina. Kai, like I said, he went to go see Drew, and Drew immediately tries to make him do crime. Just immediately tries to make him do crime. It's very crazy. He's just like, hey, so I have woken up. I need you to break into my house, go past the crime scene that it is, and go get me all my shit out of my safe. Kai's like, nope. Absolutely not. Why the fuck would you ask me to do that? That's actually crazy. Like, Drew, this is not one of the people in town who knew you were evil. Like, he's operating as if Kai knows that he's evil and that Kai is down. Sir, no, that's not the case. And so, Kai is like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Would you like anything else, sir? And he's like, go get me Willow. And so that's how that happened. I might have just deleted that. This is probably gonna get cut if I just repeated myself. But if I didn't repeat myself when I go back and listen to it, we'll keep it in. And I'll keep this in because that's hilarious. But let's talk about Portia and Isaiah. So Portia and Isaiah Isaiah goes to see Portia, and Portia is like, I love what we had, but that shit's over. Just FYI. I can't because of my daughter. And Isaiah is like, cool. I hope you don't feel like I took advantage of you. She's like, I do not feel taken advantage of. I hope you do not feel taken advantage of. He is like, I do not feel taken advantage of, and I'm gonna wait for you, girl. So Black Scrubs up, poor Zaya up. Whatever. I don't know if we've landed on a ship name yet, but poor Zaya or Black Scrubs, we're up. We're up because that was cute. That was cute. Let's go to Curtis. Ugh, Curtis. So Curtis was in the room with Drew in yesterday's episode and being disgusted that Drew is trying to frame Michael when he doesn't know if he did that shit. Curtis, no, Drew is essentially like, well, it could have been you. I know that you threatened me. Like, should I tell the cops that you threatened me? Curtis is like, I'm gonna need you to check your tone with me right now. And by the way, check your tone with everybody because people out here want you dead. Like, someone tried to kill you, sir. And you still out here giving people attitudes when you are literally in the hospital, vulnerable, post gunshot wound. But keep giving me attitude, sir. Keep giving people attitude. I'm sure that's worked out for you in the past. And I'm sure it's going to work out for you in the future. And then Lucas comes in. And of course, he's weirded out because he's like, okay, what's going on here? And Curtis is like, nothing. I'm leaving. Drew, don't rush your recovery because we wouldn't want you to have a setback. You old bitch. And he leaves. Lucas comes in, gives Drew an exam, and pretty much calls him a bitch and leaves. Leaves him with his feet out. Just leaves him with his feet out. It was very funny. I was like, not just leaving the man's feet out. But then Chase comes to see Curtis and he's like, hey, I want to talk to you about Drew's shooting. Curtis is like, yeah, I'm not going to talk to you about that. Not without my lawyer, bruh. Sorry, bruh. Chase goes full like corrupt cop. He's like, well, you know that having asking for a lawyer makes you seem guilty. Asking for a lawyer is literally your constitutional right. Shut the fuck up, Chase. Like, shut the fuck up. Chase literally trying to put everybody in jail but Willow. Every single person. Michael, Curtis, every single person except for Willow. Like, and so, Curtis is like, yeah, I hear you. I'm not talking to you, you old bitch. And so he leaves. And so the final thing that happens is that Michael goes to see Anna about the shooting. Latino's son shows up as his lawyer because Diane can't be Michael's lawyer because she's Alexis's lawyer. Make it make sense. Like, Diane stays being all of Mob Hospital's lawyer, but because she's Christina's hospital's lawyer now, she can't be Mob Hospital's lawyer. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I'm sure it makes sense in real life. I'm just saying, on this show, I've seen Diane represent the entire Corinthos family at the same time. Like, representing multiple people, 14 fucking people. But now she can't represent both Alexis and Michael. And she says, Latino fucking son. I know you're fucking lying, Diane. What are you talking about? Diane, what are you doing? Latino son? White East African warlord son. Sonny's whole fucking op that that Sonny thinks killed the fucking judge. You sent his son to represent Sonny's son. Whoo, this episode is crazy. Like I said, it's a lot of talking, but it's also like, what the fuck is going on? Diane. But whatever, Michael's like, look, I need to get this over with today, so like we could do it. Like, sure. They ask about like the timeline of Michael's whereabouts, what were you doing? And Michael was like, I was hanging out with a sex worker. Dante is like, ill, Michael. Ill. Stop telling people you were sex workers. But they ask him about like, okay, what were you doing after you were hanging out with the sex worker? Michael thinks about it. We get like the hottest shot of Michael Corinthos looking sexy and innocent. That's an innocent man, Your Honor. Look at this smolder. Is this a smolder of a guilty man? I don't think so. But they start asking Michael about allegedly punching Drew at the Metro Court, and Latino's son is like, nah, we not doing that. We not doing that. Show me that police report, girl. If we gonna talk about that, I need to see the police report. Anna's like, there is no police report. He's like, exactly. Exactly, because Drew can't in shit. And at that point, Anna's like, y'all can go. Y'all can go. Like I said, this whole week is Anna getting abused by the people of Port Charles. But Dante is like, look, I'm not trying to put my brother in jail again, but if I have to, I'm going to. Because if you could pay a sex worker to fuck you, you could pay him to be your alibi. So that's sus as fuck. And so now everybody's going to go find the random sex worker. See how central this random sex worker has become? I was worried about that. I'm going to see where the story goes. I'm going to let it happen. But I was worried about random sex worker becoming too prominent in the story. And so let me go watch Thursday really quick. I'm going to be right back. Okay, and we're back. Thursday, all of the hospitals are now kind of crashing into each other, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. This is not a bad thing. Like, it makes it harder for me to do my little shtick, but it's not actually a bad thing for the show. This is how soaps should work. And so I'm not complaining, or the complaint is not a GH complaint that I think they should fix. It is just an aesthetic complaint for this episode. But all the hospitals seem to be crashing into each other. So we have Spy Hospital, which is now intertwined with Rocco's Hospital. Yes, Spy Hospital and Rocco's Hospital have finally met face to face. So Britt and Jason are on a plane back to Port Charles. He's asking her what the hell she was doing at this evil sandals resort in the Balkans, and she, per usual, is doing nothing but avoiding and evading these questions. Like, girl, at this point, just tell that man what you were doing. Like, what else he got to do? She's still mad about Carly. She's still like, look, comes back to Carly. This man literally just said, fuck them kids, and was down to Jack Dawson this shit with you and blow up in an evil sandals resort in the Balkans, even though his youngest son just lost his mama less than a year ago, but you still want to be on this time? Okay. Okay, but she's like, leave me alone. But also, can I have some money? But we're gonna get back to Britt. We're gonna get back to Britt and Jason, and Britt in a bit, but Jason later on. But let's go to Liesel over at the teen coffee shop that all the teens and the young adults be hanging out at. And so Liesel runs into Rocco and Charlotte at this teen coffee shop. And Rocco like reintroduces Charlotte to Liesel, and Liesel has to be like, yeah, I know this child. Like when Nina was married to Valentine, like I know her. She's like, I can't believe that whole time we were hanging out, you were my brother's grandmother. I didn't even know it. Liesel does clear it up. I feel like bullying works. We've successfully bullied the writers of the show to clear some shit up. And they had Liesel say that she is not Rocco's grandmother, just like in her heart and spiritually she is, but not biologically she is not. Thank you. Be so fucking serious right now. Like this woman's a doctor. But you know, she leaves him alone because she knows she's not supposed to be around Rocco without Dante and Lulu's supervision. And Rocco and Charlotte sit down and pretty much have a conversation about how they have to manage their own mother because they can't actually just talk to her and tell her how they're feeling, because then she's gonna freak out like a child. That's the problem. Like, that's the problem, girl. Your children don't feel safe talking to you about their anxieties and their wants and their hopes and their dreams. That's the problem. I'm just saying. But Liesel rolls up and she's like, y'all can share this cupcake, but Rocco, you need to eat. All of a sudden, the dog just take off running. The dog, remember that dog? The dog was there, the plot point dog for several stories. The dog just took off running. Where? We don't know. We don't know. Where is this dog going? Was it running back to the lab? Because I swear to God, Emma gonna find that dog in that lab about to get irradiated by Kane from YNR. It's just so silly. It's so silly. Spy Hospital. Oh my God. But Rocco and Charlotte take off after the dog. He comes back all fucked up. Just off of, where did the dog go to? Like, apparently he ran into a tree branch and busted his head open. And he's like, oh, it's fine. I'm not gonna lie, it looked fine. It looked fine. But Liesel was like, you're gonna need stitches. We gotta take you to the hospital. And so Rocco gotta call his mom. Now Lulu is at the house talking to Nina because Nina had come to see Lulu to ask her to let Charlotte see Valentine so the WSB can like get her and Willow off this Drew attempted murder case. To be honest, like let's keep it cute. But she's just like, she literally just says the same shit that Carly says, and now it makes sense to Lulu. Okay, sure. She's just like, yeah, you know, Charlotte want to see her. Like, the one thing that Nina's got is that she has more perspective on Charlotte because she does talk to Charlotte more. But she's pretty much just like, if Charlotte find out about that shit and she find out you didn't let her see her dad, then you're the bad guy. Like, be so fucking serious right now, Lulu. And they're talking. Lulu tries to say that same shit she said to Carly, like, well, I just don't want her to do it. And Nina's like, yeah, but she want to do it. I talked to her. She didn't forget about her dad. She miss her. And now Lulu's like, oh, I don't know. That's when she gets the call from Rocco, like, hey, so that crusty dog ran away and I ran into a tree branch and now I gotta get stitches. Lisa's gonna take me, don't be mad. And Lulu's like, cool, that's fine. I'm gonna meet you at the hospital. Rocco's like, you ain't got to go. Lulu's like, I'm gonna meet you at the hospital. Be so fucking serious. And so they all go to the hospital. Lulu had called Dante. Dante was over at Delusional Hospital dealing with his brother and a sex worker. We'll get to that. But Dante's there. Lena, Lulu, they meet Rocco and Liesel. Rocco goes to get his head stitched up. Who walks in? Britt. Britt walks in. Tell me why this hoe walked in like she was 20 minutes late for her shift. Not like she'd been dead for the past 2 years. Girl, If you walking into this hospital that casually, I'm gonna need you to walk up to that wall of heroes and take your photo right off of it. Cause girl, what are we doing? She really just like, hey y'all. Like Liz looked shook. Lisa passed out. But she really was just like, hey, what's the problem? What's going on? Like, I'm sure no one's gonna miss me. Girl, be so fucking serious. Be so serious. But that Spy Hospital meets Rocco's Hospital. It's definitely a lot more interesting than the Sandals Resort. I'm gonna let you know that right now. I did not care for that Sandals Resort. I'm not sad to see it get blown up. But let's go over to Delusional Hospital. So Delusional Hospital today is clashing with Black Hospital, Law and Order Hospital, Mob Hospital, Hospital, like all the things as usual. And now that Rocco and Spy Hospital are over at the hospital, it could potentially start crashing with them because they back in town. They were protected. Like Rocco was protected by the simple fact that Drew wasn't thinking about him until he started thinking about him, giving him restraining orders. So Rocco's Hospital is kind of in Delusional's Hospital. But Spy Hospital was saved by the fact that it was over in the Balkans, but now it's back in Port Charles. So it's going to become Drew's problem soon enough. But let's do Black Hospital and Law and Order Hospital because they kind of clash a little bit more today. So Trina goes to see Portia. Now Trina wants to know more tea about what's going on in Black Hospital. Mainly, is there any more copies of this proof? Because she destroyed that copy, but is there another copy? Portia's really like, stay out of it. Stay out of it, queen. And she's right. Girl, just tell her that you destroyed the copy, that you were in the house that night. You didn't do it, but you were in the house. Black Hospital's gonna cap for you. So I don't even know why we're doing this. But Portia's pretty much like, stay out of it. Whatever happens, happens, and I'll deal with the consequences. And they hug. They hug. That's it. I'm done. Let's go over to Curtis. So Curtis goes to see Anna because yesterday he told Chase he's not talking to his ass without a lawyer. Tell me why they're so fucking offended that Curtis won't just talk to them. Like, I feel like they weren't this offended about Michael or Alexis. But the fact that Curtis won't talk to them, they're just like, that seems sus. Why? Why? Like, so because Michael's from Mob Hospital and Alexis is from, Eurotrash Cassadine Hospital, like, it makes sense that they'd be cagey like this, but Curtis, it doesn't make sense for? That's weird. That's weird. And I don't even like Curtis. Y'all know how I feel about Curtis Ashford. I'm just saying, that's weird that Chase and Anna going this hard on Curtis. Why? What'd he do? What did he do that Alexis and Michael didn't do? To be honest. But whatever. Anna is like, so you don't fuck with Drew, right? Tell me about that. Curtis is like, I absolutely do not fuck with Drew, and here's why. And proceeds to give the whole spiel about Aurora. Now, once more, I don't know why Curtis was so offended by that. Like, and I like Curtis as CEO of Aurora, if that makes sense. Like, it makes him more of a power player in town. And he don't deserve that job. You stole the job from Michael. Like, why are you offended? But you know what? For plot reasons, that's why. He's offended for plot. And it is quite in character for Curtis to just crash out because someone lied to him. Because we know how he feels about that. He said it in the episode. We all know it's true. And so, sure, yeah, that makes sense. And so Anna's like, bet. Okay, so what about Aunt Stella? So you think that Drew did what he did to Aunt Stella? Curtis is like, he did do that shit, and I'm pissed off about it. What's good? What's about that? Some about Aunt Stella being like targeted makes Anna think that he's super guilty. So she asked him where he was during the shooting. And he was like, I was with Alexis, then I went to the champagne room, no one saw me there, then I was with Jordan. And unfortunately, Drew was shot when he was at the champagne room, quote unquote, and no one saw his ass. So he does not have an alibi, which is so funny because he was like, Michael, sure up your alibi, and now he's at the top of the suspect list. Good job, Curtis. But Anna tells him that you don't have an alibi, essentially, so you're staying on the list. And Curtis leaves and goes and tells Portia that they gotta pretend to stay together so she doesn't look more guilty. How does that work? No one thinks that she did anything. If anything, y'all gotta stay together so you don't look more guilty, to be honest. But whatever. Y'all know I don't care about Curtis. So hope it works out for you, Curtis. I don't think Curtis did it. They wouldn't have Curtis do it. But let's go to Dante and Michael and the random sex worker. So Dante is being gagged by Michael all week. He is just so grossed out by his younger brother. It is so funny. But Dante goes to see the random sex worker at her hotel room, and Michael pops out shirtless, like zipping up his pants. Michael. He's just living to gag his big brother. It is so fucking funny because Dante again is like, ew, Michael. Michael. Why are you acting like this? Like, it is so funny to watch Dante be disgusted by his brother because Michael is going full Sonny Corinthos right now with this alibi. Like, I cannot name the scene, but I'm sure if I went back to the 90s, I could find a scene of Sonny doing this exact thing, just this exact behavior. Like, it's so funny. And so obviously Dante is like pissed. And he's like, bruh, what? Be so fucking serious right now. Like, so I'm just supposed to believe that you out here getting sex workers now? Really? Now, historically, this is not out of character for Michael. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. I'm not going to get into it. But Dante's like, listen, just talk to me. Like, you don't get sex workers. Like, there's nothing wrong with sex work. Sex workers work. And you don't get sex workers. So just be so fucking serious. Michael's like, so I shoot people? That's better, Dante? That's a better fucking option? I don't get sex workers, but I shoot people? What, you try to put me in jail again? Dante's like, look, just tell me the truth. Before he can really get into that, Lulu calls to be like, Rocco's going to the hospital. So he's got to escape delusional hospital, go over to spy hospital, meets Rocco's hospital. Random sex worker comes out like, where your bro at? Michael's like, he had to go, but let's get this story straight because Dante don't buy it and I don't give a shit what he believes. It's about what he can prove. So let's click up. And so they agreed to click up because turns out random sex worker was there to blackmail Drew. Turns out Drew getting blackmailed as much as Portia. Him and Portia on the same time when it comes to being blackmailed. But let's go over to Mob Hospital. Yes, Michael's in Mob Hospital, but he was caught in Law and Order Hospital because it was really Dante's scene. Like, Dante was so disgusted. It was so funny. Michael was just there. But Mob Hospital, at hospital. So Carly goes to the hospital and asks to see Drew. And Liz is like, nah, girl, and you know why. Uh, just let me just say, Liz, you be letting Curtis go in to see Drew, knowing that those two are beefing harder than ever. You were like, well, he doesn't say you can't, knowing that there was such a good chance that Curtis would go in there and just put a pillow over that man's face and kill his ass. You had no problem with that. But now you're like, Carly, Carly. Girl, I'm so confused by Liz in any of these stories. Like, Liz is she is like a riddle wrapped in a conundrum. Because what time are you on? And we're going to come back to that statement. But Carly's like, listen, you know I'm a mess, and I will make a whole fucking scene in this hospital if you don't tell me where that man's room is. So Liz is like, he's in room 10. Go away. Thank you. Before she could get there, Lucas stops her, like, just the dead ass stops her, and it's like, so question, girl, how many people know that you threatened to get Drew got? How many people? How many people I gotta, like, look up on and talk to and tell them how you are? Carly immediately turns around and looks at Liz because Lucas did this not 2 feet from where Elizabeth was standing. Bruh, why you put her out like that? That's crazy. Because of course Carly was like, so this your fault? So you just run around telling people that? Like, who else you tell? Lucas is like, listen, I'm just trying to, like, mitigate what was happening. Carly's like, look, I'm not here to kill anybody, nor did I try to kill anybody. I'm here to advocate for Scout because Scout is living at Liz's little, like, Charles Street house on her couch when she got a whole mansion she could be living at. And so let me go do that. They leave. Lucas is like, I'm so sorry for Carly being rude. And Liz is like, that's fine. I'm still gonna snitch on her ass. Lucas is like, okay. Well, I want you to know that I hope Drew's attacker never gets caught because that man deserved that shit. Liz is like, really? You don't want people to know who shot him? Liz, whose fucking side are you on? Whose side are you on? Like I said, it'd be one thing if this is like a Lila Quartermain character sitting in her wheelchair having tea, but Liz was keeping bitches in towers not 3 years ago. And so let's be so fucking serious, Liz. Who cares who shot that man? Like, we want to know as the audience because we watch this show, but you and Port Charles should not care who shot that man. He's the reason you have not one, but two parentless people living in your house. Your house became the home for lost and broken parentless people. And Willow and Scout live there. So what are you talking about, girl? Like, fuck that man. But whatever. Carly goes to see, well, no, let me go to Willow. So Willow had gone to see Drew. She was standing over his ass like she wanted to shoot him again, because I swear I think it was her. He tells her some weird story about like giving her Lila's ring back as an engagement ring. Like, that's not weird as fuck. Like, that's the ring Michael gave her twice. And now you want to give it to her? You are a fucking weirdo. Like, oh my God. And she tells him that like Tracy's the reason that he lived. He's like, no, you're the reason I lived. You and the kids. You are such a weirdo. And like, here's the thing. I'm torn by Drew right now because like I did kind of think he will wake up with like a different attitude. And part of me is glad that he didn't, because if this is how he is now and he's just kind of a menace, like I think that could be useful on the show. Like that is a useful character. Like menace ass characters are like utility characters that can be fun depending on how you use them. I mean, like there's too much Drew for like, if this is what he's gonna be on, you got to scale it back a little bit. But like it could be fun if he's like some JR Chandler, Adam Chandler type character, Asa Buchanan, that kind of shit. And the story's kind of stalling out with him still being on this time. Like he's just woken up and chosen evil. The shooting has not made him think or reconsider at all. And like I assume they have something in the story, like when he finds out who did it, that's gonna make him take stock, which makes me think it's gonna be someone close to him. Like he's not gonna change if the sex worker did it, right? Like if random sex worker did it, then he's going to be on the same time. If Michael did it, if Curtis did it, if Portia did it, if Alexis did it, these are just going to, reaffirm what he already believes about these people. So it's not actually powerful to have them do it. It's got to be someone that he cares about. It's got to be Willow or Scout or, off-screen Monica did it before she fucking dies. Like Wiley did it. It's got to be someone who will actually make Drew do a double take when he finds out that that's who did it. That like his daughter was out here pulling guns on his ass, right? That's all I'm saying. And so if that's where we're going, then I'll just like wait. But if it's just like, oh no, it turns out Curtis did do it, and now this justifies how Drew feels about Black Hospital, or Michael did it, and now everything he felt about Mob Hospital is true. That's just not a compelling story. That's not a compelling ending to all this. That's all I'm gonna say about this. But Carly comes in at this point and tells him to let Scout stay with the Quartermains or stay with Alexis. Like she doesn't want to be with Willow at Liz's house for lost and broken parentless fucking characters. She don't want that. And he's just like, no, fuck that. Stop worrying about that and start worrying about Michael, because I'm about to frame his ass. Carly is like, if you had proof, if you could do these things, Michael would already be in jail. And so why can't you just think about your daughter for a second and think about that? Drew has not brought up Scout at all. He literally just told Dante that Scout was at a sleepover and he does not care about her. Willow brought up Scout. Willow was like, I got Scout, everything's fine. He was like, cool, you should just move back in with me. Weirdo. Um, she he starts bringing up like, well, maybe you shot me, you threatened me, Elizabeth heard it, and Carly gives probably one of the top 10 Carly quotes of all time, where she tells Drew, if I wanted you dead, you'd be dead, so don't worry about that. Like, when I want you dead, your pain will be over, your pain and suffering will be done, so you don't have to worry about that. Um, but then at that point, she kind of just tells both Willow and Drew that they ain't shit, they're lost causes, and she bounces. Drew then tells Willow that he's gonna frame Michael. Like, he's gonna frame Michael because he ain't shit. And Willow's super down. She's super down. There's a second where she's like, well, if you frame Michael, that means the person who really did it is still out there. Aren't you worried about that? He was like, no. No. And then she was like, bet, do what you gotta do. And so finally, Carly, like I said, she bounced out because she's like, I can't be around this. I can't be at the epicenter of delusional hospital for more than 5 minutes, or I'm actually gonna commit a murder. And so she decides to go tell Anna that she threatened to kill Drew because Carly's chaotic as fuck, and that's why she's my favorite female character on the show. And Anna's like, okay, like, do you want a lawyer or some shit? She's like, no, why I need a lawyer? I didn't do that shit. I got an alibi. I was with Pikeman. Anna was like, so Pikeman's a lying ass bitch. And so alibi rejected. Try again. Carly's like, wow, so you really don't like this man so much that you just gonna outright reject my alibi? You just gonna be like, that's not a sufficient alibi? When Alexis is talking about she was having a intervention for fucking Ava and Christina at the time of the fucking murder, that's a legitimate alibi. But me getting my back blown out by Pikeman, that's over the fucking line? That's how you feel? And it's like, yeah, because Pikeman ain't shit. You gonna see that one day. Jason walks in. And that's the end of the episode. We gotta go to Friday. We gotta figure out what happens on Friday. I'm guessing that Carly does not find out that Jocelyn is a spy tomorrow or anytime soon. But we'll see. Maybe I'll be surprised. We'll see. I'll be right back. Give me a sec. And we're back. It is Friday and we made it, y'all. Once again, if you made it this far into the video, thank you for, bearing with me this week. It was, needless to say, it was a journey to get this episode out, but we're here. We're at Friday. And oddly enough, I gotta start with Mob Hospital. I'm hurt by it too. There's just no way I can start with Spy Hospital. It really was the main focus of this episode. Mob Hospital kind of dealing with Delusional Hospital as a periphery. It is them dealing with Delusional Hospital, but it's just the mobsters. So like, let's just focus on them. We have Sonny and Brick. So Sonny, he framed Drew. Apparently, Brick put some fake papers in Drew's safe before he got shot, and framed it so it looks like he's the one who paid off the judge, which I think is hilarious. Like, okay, sure, yeah, that's what we're doing. And then the rest of the episode is kind of just Sonny and Brick shooting the shit the whole time. Like, aren't we cute? Carly shows up because she was at Anna's office with Jason, but Jason's like, you gotta get out, girl. I gotta read this bitch for Phils. We'll get to that in a second at Spy Hospital. But Carly shows up and Brick just immediately starts flirting with her per usual, and Sonny looks annoyed as hell. Like, bruh, I know this is my ex-wife, but this is my favorite ex-wife, so you gotta stop doing that. I love that all of Sonny's employees love Carly. Like, she is hands down their favorite Mrs. Corinthos. Like, she's always gonna be Mrs. Corinthos. Like how if you're president of the United States, you're always Mr. President. And I have to say Mr. because we ain't never had no female president. I'm just saying. But she's always gonna be Mrs. Corinthos in their heart. But they're flirting around. Sonny's like, girl, why you here? Like, why are you here? Carly tells Sonny that Jason is back and asks if he knew. And Sonny's like, yeah, Duh. Of course. That fool texted me from the airport. What you talking about? And she says how like it's very weird that Jason wanted to talk to Anna, and that he's at Anna's office right now. And Sunny's like, how you know that? How you know he's at Anna's office, girl? What you talking about? And she's like, cause I was at Anna's office just now. And he's like, why? Why were you just voluntarily at Anna's office, girl? What you talking about? Because if you were not voluntarily there, I would know because Diane would got called. And so she explains how she threatened Drew, and so he was gonna say something, and so she just went and told Anna herself because she don't have time for it. She don't have time for Drew's games. And Sunny and Brick are like, okay, I feel that, but also you shouldn't just be volunteering information to the cops, like to be honest. But like, okay, girl, if you feel safe with that. Um, Brick then asks if they think Michael did it. And Sonny and Carly are immediately like, no, absolutely not. Not our son. Our son is salt of the earth. Definitely didn't like he definitely wasn't ordering hits and shooting Kate and killing Claudia and doing several assaults throughout his long tenure on this show. He wouldn't hurt a fly. He is not a violent man. So fucking funny. Like anytime Mob Hospital like caps for one another, like yes, we are in Mob Hospital. Yes, we are mobsters, but we are very gentle people. It's so fucking funny. That's why I can't. I have to stand. I have to stand how delusional Mob Hospital is. That's why Delusional Hospital can never. They could never. Like Mob Hospital is not new to the delusion. They're true to this, and that's why Drew is coming off as a fake. Anyway, Carly's like, Michael didn't do it, but Drew's gonna make it seem like he did it. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wish he was dead. Brick is like, we still got time for that. We can still do that. Let me know. But he asked if Michael got an alibi. They're like, we don't know if he got an alibi. They don't know about the random sex worker yet. I'm guessing Dante hasn't had a chance to talk to his dad. But Brick is like, let me work on that. Let me work on that. And that's pretty much all in Mob Hospital. That's it. Like, that's why I couldn't, in good faith, talk about Mob Hospital. Now let's just go over to Spy Hospital and deal with Spy Hospital really quick. So over at Spy Hospital, we still got Emma and the dumb honeypot happening. They did not forget about it. They backburned it for like 3 weeks where we did not fucking care about that. I thought we were done. Like we had moved the story over to the Evil Sandals Resort in the Balkans, but we blew that up. I think on Tuesday, maybe it got blown up. And so now we got to go back to this dumb honeypot and came from YNR. And so Emma is there with Geo, still talking about this honeypot, like, ooh, the honeypot's happening. And Kane from YNR is going to be here. Here comes Kane from YNR. She goes to flirt with him some more and get whatever information. She overhears that he's got like some shipment of sad puppies to irradiate coming tomorrow. And she's like, gotcha, bitch. Yes. Charlotte shows up to tell Geo about Rocco's hospital and the dog being missing. And so when Emma comes back to be like, ooh, got his ass, Geo's like, oh, sorry, girl, the dog is missing. And now she's sad about that. Like, is she gonna stop her plan to go look for this raggedy dog? I don't know. I'm not gonna guess. I'm gonna just come to it organically. Anyway, let's move away from this. Let's move away from this honeypot and go over to I'm not happy to be here either. Let's go over to Joss getting her back blown out in Australia. And it's if you like that, I hope you liked it. I hope you liked it. It's a lot of her getting her back blown out before Pikeman shows up to read her and Dollar Tree decks for fucking fills and ask them about the fucking mission because they really want to talk about them blowing each other's backs out, and he is not trying to talk to them about that. He does not fucking care about that. And it is so funny. They're like, well, listen, we can make it work. He's like, can you tell me what happened at the fucking Sandals Resort? And stop telling me about y'all blowing each other's backs out. The fuck? Like, this is what I'm saying about Pikeman. Just because I call him Pikeman don't mean that I'm not highly entertained by Pikeman. Because Pikeman is taking over nondescript European manager's role of not having time for people's shit. And I'm always here for that energy. And so he's like, what the fuck happened? They're like, oh, well, we were supposed to just do reconnaissance, but then Joss lost her mind because she thought she had a trauma bond with Britt. But she didn't, and we didn't learn shit, and the Sandals Resort blew up. And so Pikeman's like, so you didn't learn shit. You didn't learn shit. Great. How'd you get out of that? And Jocelyn is like, Jason saved us. Pikeman's like, what the fuck? What? What do you mean, Jason? What? And so Jocelyn's like, well, and he's like, so he about to tell everybody that you a spy. Jocelyn's like, no, because I made him pinky promise that he wouldn't tell anybody that I'm a spy, so it's fine. Okay, let's go over to Jason and Anna and talk about this pinky promise that he made with her. So Jason obviously goes straight to Anna to read her for filth. And Carly is there, like I said, telling her how she threatened Drew and how Pikeman's her alibi. And so Carly sees Jason. She want to talk to Jason. Jason's like, nah, I'll talk to you later, girl. I need to read her down right away. And so I need you to go. Carly's like, okay. And then goes to like question Sonny and flirt with Britt. So Jason asks Anna how long she's known that Joss is a spy. And Anna starts telling him the tea and her little sad story about her being a spy. And also that Dante knew. So I hope Jason cusses his ass out too. Because I know that Dante's going to look up on Jason and be like, why'd you tell Danny to call Sonny and not the cops when he finds dead bodies? I need Jason to be like, fuck you. When were you going to tell me or anybody else in this goddamn family that Jocelyn's a fucking spy? Don't talk to me about my fucking son. You out here letting your sister be a fucking spy, but you want to talk to me about my son's phone habits and who he calls in case of emergency? Fuck you, bruh. Cuss his ass out, Jason. Because I'm sick of Law and Order Hospital and their holier than thou attitude when they lie through their teeth 24/7 and fall back on it's classified. It's classified. That's why I can lie to your face, because it's classified. And so when it's classified, it's cute. It's cute and it's noble. My fucking lying. But like when Mob Hospital tells you straight up what it is, now they're the fucking problem. Okay. That's why I don't respect Law and Order Hospital, if you haven't noticed. Anyway, she's like, well, I would have gone to jail. And Jason's like, I don't care about that shit. You should have told me and you should have went to jail. Instead, you chose to manipulate me and I'm fucking pissed. I don't like being manipulated. She's like, I maneuvered you. He's like, bitch, anybody can string words together and make new fucking meanings that don't sound that fucking bad. Don't play in my face. Like, ooh, she was making me mad. If you were Team Anna, be Team Anna. I'm not saying that you're wrong to be Team Anna. I'm sure somewhere in there she was making points. I did not find any of them. I found none of them. But if you found them, then I support you and your mission and your quest and everything that you discovered. I disagree. I disagree. Because, girl, what are you talking about? So essentially, you're like, I had to let this girl almost get murdered in the Balkans because I didn't want to go to Steinmauer because it was classified. That's weak bitch behavior. Sorry, it's why I don't respect Spy Hospital. Never will. Not a chance. I'll take the criminals over the cops any fucking day. I find more honor with the criminals than I ever have with the cops because they all ain't shit. But moving on. So, she starts talking about, well, Jocelyn's like you and me, and like we were manipulated by people we trusted. Jason was like, I'm not actually trying to hear you talk shit about Sonny right now, and neither am I, Jason. We're on the same time. Shut the fuck up. First of all, this is the problem, is like, it's fine if y'all didn't watch it. And so you're like, ooh, I can see what she's talking about with Sonny manipulating him. As somebody who watched this storyline, who saw what happened, that's not what happened. And it doesn't matter how many times you have Anna Duvane say some shit that happened when she wasn't even in town, when she was supposed to be dead or over in Lambview or some shit. It does not matter how many times you have her say it. It doesn't make it true. It does not make it true. Like, Jason was like in med school, so he's not some 18-year-old kid. He's not even 22. Sonny did not put a gun in his hand. Jason showed up with a gun. He was about that life from day fucking one. Sonny didn't want him around because he was a quartermain, and that was distracting, both by having Alan and Monica and Edward just show up randomly at the mob drop to yell at Jason and try to get him to come home. That shit sucks. But also because being a quartermain makes you stand out. And then Jason was like, well, I don't fuck with these people anyway. Let me change my name to Morgan. I'm about it. I'm about this life. So her saying this means fuck all to me. It doesn't mean anything to me. I know that Sonny is not manipulating this man. We have not watched Sonny manipulate this man for the past 30 years. So you having her say it doesn't make it true. It makes her sound annoying to people who know that this is not the truth. Like, if you were manipulated by the WSB, I didn't fucking watch that, so I don't fucking know. As far as I know, Anna Duvane came onto the show already in the WSB. So she's literally talking about shit from the off-screen and the universe. You can make up whatever you want from the off-screen and the universe. Anything that happened off-screen is up for interpretation and imagination and revisits and reworking. Shit that happened on the show that's pivotal to the storyline and the character arcs and the relationships that exist on the show, you can't actually have it rewritten to benefit a character so she doesn't sound like a dumb bitch. That's all I'm saying. Having her say that is what's making her sound like a dumb bitch. That's my advice when it comes to this weird crusade where you want to have Anna Duvane victimize Jason Morgan when his whole character has been about taking personal responsibility, to be honest. Like, she sounds like a weak bitch. She sounds stupid. Like, if that's your story, girl, good for you. Sorry that happened to you. But that's not my story, and you trying to push it on me is actually fucking annoying and degrading. I'm just gonna say that right now. I'm sick of hearing it. I'm sick of hearing it. Like, girl, last time I've checked, Sonny hasn't committed treason. That's all I'm saying. Like, you out here talking about this man and his fake purse empire when you out here dealing with actual terrorists committing treason. Like, you got that on your resume, not Sonny. And I'm done. And so, Jason is like, take some responsibility for your own shit. Stop putting your shit on me, to be honest. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You betrayed me. He's straight out, because she keeps trying to make it Pikeman's fault. He's like, Pikeman wasn't my fucking friend. Pikeman didn't fucking owe me nothing. You were my friend. You owed me something, and you fucking betrayed me. Friendship over. Friendship canceled. Boom. Love to hear it. Love to hear it, Jason. You don't need to be her friend. Don't talk to her anymore. We're done. Go back to Mob Hospital. Stop talking to Law and Order Hospital. I understand why you gotta talk to Dante. That's Sonny's son. You're in a weird brother-husband situation because of Sam's ghost. You don't have to talk to her. You don't have to talk to her. You can say good morning to Chase, pass him the orange juice, and walk straight out that door and not talk to him. You don't need to talk to Law and Order Hospital. You don't need to be here. Why are you voluntarily in the PCPD right now? Why are you voluntarily talking to her? You don't have to talk to her. Like, the interrogation room is literally called the Jason Morgan Memorial Interrogation Room. Because that's how many times you've been arrested. But now you voluntarily go into the PCPD to talk to the commissioner? Stay strong, Jason. Stay on the path. Don't break. But, the subject of Carly comes up. Like, so what you about to do with that? So, like, when you tell Carly, can you make sure she doesn't have, like, any weapons? Like, can you make sure she don't have no knives, or she can't reach Pikeman? Because he's like, I can't tell Carly because since you didn't tell me before I went to the Evil Sanders Resort in the Balkans, I had to make a fucking pinky promise with Jocelyn and promise that I wouldn't tell Carly that she was a spy. We didn't see it. They really had this whole fucking conversation off screen. Are you fucking serious? Fuck y'all for that. Sorry for so much swearing in the final segment, but it's a lot of Spy Hospital. Y'all should have known this was coming. Y'all should have known as soon as you watch Friday's episode, like, ooh, Tara's gonna go crazy because there's so much Spy Hospital. But yes, Jason says that had Anna been honest, that he wouldn't have made the pinky promise. You didn't have to make a pinky promise. You a grown ass man. You are eligible for AARP. What you mean you made a fucking pinky promise and now you can't tell your bestie? Now you the same as her. You the same as Anna, being like, well, you know, like pinky promise is now classified information. Like the pinky promise is now I'm gonna go to Steinmauer. Okay, Jason. Sure. Let me guess because Lulu made that quip about like, ooh, what's that call about? Like, who's in the clear? Lulu's gonna find out, and she not gonna give a fuck about Jocelyn Pinky Promise or none of that. She gonna straight knock her ass out. Do it, Lulu. Use your big ass mouth for good. But that's that version of Spy Hospital. Fuck it. Fuck. I hate every spy in Spy Hospital. And that hurts me the most because I love Jocelyn. Like, I love Jocelyn. I hate Jocelyn the spy. She's so annoying. She just constantly, like, crying and getting her back blown out and holding guns weird. I'm going to get through it. It's going to be all right. Let's go to Britt. This raggedy bitch. Britt is such a fucking asshole. What can we say? Like, I know that Britt got stands. I know that she does. I am obviously not one of them, but I am not anti-Britt. I'm not like one of those people who are out here like, why is she even here? I'm fine with it. I just wanted to be known that she was a fucking asshole this entire episode. Because, girl, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? She's really acting like she's just 20 minutes late for work. Not that she's been dead for the past 2 years. She really acted like, what is everyone else's problem? Like, be so fucking serious right now. It is very funny that you have Lisa and Nina looking thrilled while Dante and Lulu are looking horrified. Dante and Lulu are like, oh, shit. No, but Britt is back and Lisa is thrilled, at least for a second. But as soon as Dante sees Britt, he tells her ass to get lost. Like, get lost, bitch. Like, we're busy here. I don't know what you're doing here, but whatever you could do, can you do it later? Because we're all busy here when nobody wants to see you. Nobody's happy to see you back. Nina's like, we're happy to see her back, obviously, because we're her fucking family. Can you back the fuck up? And Dante's like, okay, I'm just saying, I feel like I speak for a majority of the town when I say no one's happy to see this bitch. And Lulu runs over to Liz and she's like, can you make sure Rocco stays in that exam room? Because I don't need him out here to deal with this. Britt really fixed her fucking face to call Rocco Ben. Lulu, you gotta fight her. That's all how this has to end. It has to end with Lulu punching this bitch in the face. Cause like, how dare you? How fucking dare you? Girl. And like, that's what I'm saying. Like, she's just being the biggest asshole you've ever seen in your life. Like, she's really acting like she didn't fake her death. Like, she's just late for an appointment and she don't know why everyone's problem is. Why didn't call her about Rocco? Girl. Liesl sees what time it is, especially when Britt's like, I don't get to see the baby I brought into the world. It's like somehow hearing Britt say that shit made Liesl realize how fucking stupid she sounded saying it. Because she realized that Britt sounds stupid and callous and rude. And so she snatched her up and her and Nina get her the fuck out of there. Dante and Lulu are obviously freaking out because, Britt's back. They didn't think they have to deal with her. They were like, it's bad enough that Rocco want to know about her, but now she back. Lulu makes some quip about this being Brooklyn's fault. It wasn't out of pocket. Yeah, probably. And I get where she's coming from because like, she's mad because like in her mind, is this true? Probably not. But in her mind, she could have managed this better if Brooklyn hadn't done what she did. But you know what? In Brooklyn's mind, she could have managed shit better if Lulu didn't do what she did. So, Blue. And, if she thought Gio was her son, she could have told her. But whatever, whatever. Dante is essentially like, so we got to tell Rocco. We got to do that. You know that, right? And Lulu's like, fuck. Yeah, I know, but I don't want to. But they take him home and they tell him and Charlotte, because she's at home, that Britt is alive. And Rocco is still fucking mad at Lulu for no reason. He's like, why didn't I get to see Britt? Did he chase her away? Rocco, you thought that this woman was dead. You thought this woman was dead, which means that she faked her death. She's a bitch who fakes her death. But your mom is the problem. You were out here wishing Sam into an early grave for your mom, and now you about to throw her ass into the cornfield for this raggedy bitch who stole you as an embryo and fakes her own death. Okay, Rocco, this is what I mean when I say I understand Charlotte's bullshit way more than Rocco's. Because at least she was raised by Valentine. She loves that man. She doesn't see him the way Lulu sees him. Rocco doesn't know anything about this woman, and most of the stuff he can research about her and has found out she's a fucking asshole. And so him with this attitude with his parents is actually annoying as fuck. I'm just gonna say that right now. Friday's an annoying fucking episode. It's not a bad episode. It's like it's entertaining. It's just like when you watch a game, like a football game, and your team's not winning and you're pissed off. It's like that. Like, I'm still gonna watch it. I don't feel like my time was wasted. It's not that kind of upset. It's just like everybody's saying the dumbest, craziest shit. Like, oh my God. But the last couple things that happened is Liz had stalled for Lulu, got Lucas to stall, who was doing the stitches for Rocco, and when they leave, Liz tells Lucas that Britt is alive, and Lucas's first instinct is to call Brad. Lucas has such terrible taste in men. He cannot help himself at all. Like, he already being lied to by Latino's son. He said, let me call my ex-husband and get lied to some more. But Liz is out there ready because apparently dealing with anyone but Drew, she could be a good friend. And she's straight like, no. Nope, give me the phone. Like, you're not doing that, and here's why. And Luke is like, yeah, you right. Finally, like I said, Britt and Lisa and Nina had got Britt the fuck out of there because she's been a fucking asshole at GH. And they get her back to Nina's house. Nina's like, of course you can stay, girl. Like, I'm gonna make up the room. I'll get you a key. I'm so happy you're alive. Everything's going great. Everybody's happy until Lisa and Nina insist that Britt tell them where the fuck she's been. Now she does try to avoid and evade like she been doing with Jason, but Lisa's not Jason. Lisa's like, girl, shut the fuck up. Tell me what happened right now, like before I punch you in the face. So Britt is essentially like, I faked my own death. That's what happened. Like, I didn't want you to watch me die. I got a job offer, and so I faked my own death. And Lisa slapped the shit out of her. Yep. Lisa slapped the shit out of her, as she should have, because, girl, what you talking about? And this is what I mean, what you talking about, because there are people, and I think they made decent points when they were talking about, like, so Lisa was a terrible mother, and Britt didn't know her ass shit. Okay, for sure. I agree with that. And Lisa is a terrorist and a villain, and if Britt told her she wanted to go do fucking shenanigans for the DBX, Lisa would have been down. She would have been down. And Britt isn't dying of fucking Huntington's. Like, she apparently has the magical cure for Huntington's that keeps you alive and keeps the symptoms at bay. And so, like, Lisa would have been down to clown. That's all I'm saying. Lisa's not pissed off some, I can't believe you did that shit. She's pissed off some, I can't believe you did that and didn't tell me shit. The fuck? I'm a terrorist. I was with Cesar Faisal for how many decades? But that is the show. That is the week. once again, thank you for bearing with me. I didn't bring up any tier lists this week because the investigation kind of stalled out because it became Talk Hospital because Drew woke up evil, and so now we don't care who shot his ass. We're all Lucas Jones. Like, I'm glad he got shot. We're all Carly and Mob Hospital. Like, glad he got shot. And so it's pretty much the same because I don't think anyone really got cleared. Like, Anna said Alexis got cleared, but I don't buy that. I don't buy that. Like, girl, do your job. But thank you so much. Hopefully this is the only hiccup I have. I'm gonna try to play catch up now with this week. I held off on watching episodes until I actually got the episode out, but it's early Tuesday, and so I'm gonna edit this and it should be up by at least, like, if not Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. And so thank you guys for bearing with me. If you like this, feel free to give it a like, give it a subscribe. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, give it 5 stars, tell a friend. And I'll see you next week. Bye.